So you get the Now Comp waiver. What do you do next? There's a million questions, lots of different layers. I'm Gina. Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. With me today, Rita Young. She's the founder and executive director of a fairly new nonprofit, the Participant Directed Advocates of Georgia, aka PDAG. Hi, Rita. It's been a while. How you doing?
Hi, Gina. It is great to be back.
You know, last time you were here, you were the grassroots development manager at Unlock Georgia. What made you develop your own nonprofit?
Well, it is a change, right? Most definitely for me. But over the last almost 3 years, I've been working with a group of families, and we've been specifically asking the question, what's going to happen when we pass? And all of us use the self-direct model in Georgia, which I can talk about in a minute. So it may look like this nonprofit just popped up, but it's about 3 years in the making. And so we officially started in October of 2024.
So you mentioned that it's self-directed. Does that mean the money comes directly from the families with your nonprofit, or how does this work with direct support providers?
Okay, so in Georgia, as in all other states, once an individual with a disability receives home and community-based funding for these specific waivers, intellectual and developmental disability waivers, they would have a choice to self-direct their services. It's also called participant direction. It's also called consumer direction, depending on the part of the country that you live in, or self-determination. Or you can go the traditional route and use a traditional agency for individuals that want to live in those type of situations like group homes or host homes. So it's very different. It's a different model where the individual and their family directs those services and those dollars. So as families, we don't receive that funding, but what we do is we are able to recruit, train, and hire our own direct support professional staff. They go through a typical application process, 2 background checks, and a third party, a fiscal agent. They handle the application processing, background checks, and all the payroll. So the money doesn't come through the families at all. It's held by a third party. And of course, there's training to do this. And so this is the first time in Georgia where we have an association for individuals with disabilities and families that choose this model. And we're starting with individuals and families that self-direct their waivers in the Now Comp waivers and on the ICWP, the Independent Care Waiver Program. So individuals that have intellectual disabilities and physical disabilities. So that's where we're starting.
Walk me through the process then. So here I am, a family. What are the next steps then? Do I reach out to your organization and you take me through the next steps so that we can turn it around?
If you're curious about the self-direct or participant-directed model, absolutely, we want you to reach out to us. We're doing a series of 6 town halls that start this Wednesday around the state of Georgia. We'll also be doing the first time self-direct conference ever in Georgia in August in Macon. So there are many opportunities to connect. If you're curious, what does this self-direct model mean? If you already self-direct, again, we want you to join our association. We're just now starting, so it's a great time to jump in.
And I think Macon is a great central location because you can have all of the families from South Georgia come up and all the families from North Georgia. That's a great central location rather than in Atlanta because people down in Savannah can't drive. You know, that's a 5.5-hour drive.
That's right. We have 3,300 or so individuals that use this model in Georgia, and they're all across the state.
Wow.
So we want to be as, fair as possible. And we thought Macon would be a great, as you said, central location.
With me today, Rita Young. She is the founder and executive director of the Participant Directed Advocates of Georgia, aka PDAG, right?
That's right.
When we get back, we're going to find out a little bit more about direct support providers, what that can look like for your family. Stay with me.
At Jerem and Associates, we're not only attorneys, but we're special needs parents too.
From special needs trusts, wills, powers of attorney, guardianship, and appealing denials of Katie Beckett and now comp waivers. We're here to help.
Protecting special needs families is our mission. Reach out to us at jlaw.com.
Dodge Tree Service is awesome.
Love Dodge Tree Service. They've come out for a giant oak tree removal, another for some debris removal.
One thing I really appreciated about Dodge Tree Service, they come, they take those trees down, and they take everything away.
For a free estimate, call Dawn's Tree Service, 770-413-TREE, or find them online at dawnstree.com.
Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. With me today, and back again, Rita Young, who is now the founder and executive director of this great nonprofit. Is called Participant Directed Advocates of Georgia, aka PDAG. Now, let's go back to the direct providers. The direct support providers were making like barely minimum wage. That number's gone up. Do you know what they currently make now in Georgia?
I believe the official number is just shy of 17 an hour, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone would receive that. That depends on the agency and organization. How we are different, those of us that self-direct, we don't have the overhead that an agency has. And so we can pay a better hourly wage for our direct support professionals. Now, I believe that we need both options, right? So you can go the traditional route. If you want your individual to live in a group home, host home, you can self-direct your services. If you self-direct, it's a little more work on us families. But again, there's many advantages to it. We select our own direct support professionals with our offspring with developmental disabilities. So you can choose to have them involved in the process, and most families do. So that is a huge, huge benefit. We also, again, can pay that higher hourly wage so we can attract qualified personnel, and hopefully they'll stay with us longer too.
I think when it's the right fit, when you find that direct support provider, and that child, young adult, individual can help make that choice because of the feelings, the fit, it works to everyone's benefit. And to know they'll get paid more is another little feather in the cap, right?
Oh, absolutely. So again, we believe in choice, autonomy, personal and professional development. These are some of the core principles of the self-direct model, choice being at the top.
Why would you say someone would not want to choose the self-directed model?
Well, I think, again, it just depends on that particular family. Perhaps that family member is not able to take on the responsibilities. We become an employer of record. So it's basically a small business in a sense. So maybe families don't think they can do it or able to do it. Maybe they are thinking way down the line, maybe a parent in their 70s, 80s, they don't want to take it on and they prefer that traditional model. Like I said, we need all options in Georgia. And everywhere.
And 3,300 people can't be wrong. Right?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Rita, where can people find your organization?
Participant Directed Advocates of Georgia. We have a website, so you can feel free to check out our website at pda-ga.org. You can also send me an email at rita@pda-ga.org, and we can add you to our mailing list.
And that way people can get in touch with you about the upcoming events, especially in August, where people will be able to come from all over Georgia to Macon, right?
Absolutely. We'd love to. We're currently planning that now. Again, it'll be the first ever self-direct conference in Georgia. We'd love to see you there.
I can't wait for it. Thank you so much, Rita, for being on the show.
You're welcome.
So if you can make it to Rita's Town Hall, it is this Thursday night at the Spectrum Building in Duluth. You might know my partner, Claire D. She runs the Spectrum Autism Support Group over there. That's where this week's Town Hall is going to be. And so if you have questions like what's the difference between, self-directed or straight directed, then this is the place to go for you. The Spectrum Building Thursday night with the participant-directed advocates of Georgia. And Rita Young will be there, of course, leading the way. Thank you so much for checking out Life with the Spectrum. We still are in Autism Acceptance or Awareness Month. And yes, it's okay to say both. And we're continuing to bring you the latest information, the latest organizations, the tools, the resources, and everything in between that you and your family can kind of plug into each and every week, depending on what you're going through with your son, daughter, child, or young adult. We appreciate you each and every week tuning back into Life with the Spectrum. Find it as a podcast wherever you grab your podcast. Make sure to like, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe below. Till next time, we live life with the Spectrum. See ya.